Coming up next on Public Access TV is Fan to Fan, a half-hour sports interview show. I'm host Dave Hornfischer. In this episode, we'll talk about the Worcester Red Sox. You probably know them as the WooSox. Stay tuned. This will run fast and might take you out to the ball game. Welcome to Fan, a sports interview show whose focus is on all things sports in the greater Metro West area. I'm your host, Dave Hornfischer, and today I'm pleased to welcome back for the third time, Joe Bradlee, Vice President of the Worcester Red Sox. Joe, welcome back to Fan. It's great to have you here, and WooSox have evolved from a dream with a bunch of sticks and stones and dirt to a pandemic season and now a full season. So let's just tell me a little bit about how things are going and what your role is at the WooSox.
Well, that's well said, Dave. And first off, thanks for having me. It's great to be back on Fan for the third time. Yeah. We started our second season at Polar Park in April this year, and it was so great to not be at 25% capacity to start the season,
especially on opening day,
like we were last year. Yeah, exactly. And my role at the club is, I'm our vice president of baseball operations and community relations, and so I get to work with all of our community partners, all the nonprofits in the area. And the baseball side of my job is a lot of player relations. It's a lot of alumni relations, and we always say that we are facilitators on the baseball side. We are a part of the engine that makes the minor league system go. We are AAA, so we're right below the majors. We work hand in hand with our partners in Portland, the big league club in Boston, to make sure that all of that roster movement and things go smoothly. From our PR director, Bill Wanless, who announces those moves when they take place, to Mario in the clubhouse, our clubhouse manager, that makes sure that a lot of that up, down, and constant roster flow goes smoothly. We have a great first-year manager in Chad Tracy, who our fans love and our community's really gotten to know well, and everybody at the Red Sox loves Chad and the work that he's been doing. So the season's going great. We're right at the top of the league in attendance, and fans are coming out to Worcester, which is what we care about the most. So.
Well, you covered a lot in that introduction. We'll get into a few of those things in a little more depth, but why don't we kind of go back to the beginning and talk about the park. When people that I talk to about going to a ball game, the first thing people talk about is it's so much fun to go to Polar Park. It's a fun place to sit and a fun place to walk around, and some interesting angles. I think we're going to show a few pictures here of the park. That's one is looks like a full house there on a kind of a cloudy day or a sunny day with a little shady. But the park is right in the center of Worcester. The next picture that's coming up here is that's the train station, isn't it?
Yep. You see Union Station out there in the distance. And one thing that we have at Polar Park that we didn't have at McCoy Stadium is our proximity to that train station. So it's really easy if you're a fan coming from Boston. You can get right off at Union Station, and we're just a 9-minute walk from Union Station to the ballpark. Or if you want to jump out in Framingham and take the train, we're just a short walk. 9 minutes. I've walked it myself from that train station, and it's a breeze right through the Canal District, and you can get to the ballpark.
Have you had many people tell you that they're taking the train to ball games?
Yeah,
and is there a train back after the game? Is what I'd worry about.
Yeah. So, Dave, during COVID, I think we've certainly heard from more fans this year that they are taking the train. I think last year we still dealt with some fans who are a little bit hesitant about taking public transportation, which we fully understand.
Right, sure.
But we have seen some more fans who have taken public transportation this year.
But the park is in the heart of Worcester, and you're in the heart of the Commonwealth. And I remember the first time we had that great video with that song in the back of it, and it's still in my brain. And I think you probably are drawing from Western Mass, Central Mass, and
we are,
and probably Paw Sox fans from Rhode Island still too, right?
And we just had a Paw Sox Heritage Day, which was pretty cool. We had our whole team, our whole WooSox team, bring back those Paw Sox uniforms.
Oh, how cool.
We brought back Ken Ryan, who was a former Paw Sox and Red Sox pitcher, to throw out a first
Great
pitch.
guy.
A lot of our old Rhode Island community partners came out, and it was really a Paw Sox day. And I think we're seeing fans, particularly from the northern part of the state in Rhode Island, the Smithfields, the Barvilles of the world, the Woonsockets. You can get to Worcester just as quickly if you're coming from those areas as you can going to a Paw Sox game. So that was great.
One of the features, the park has so many different kinds of features. One of the pictures that we got here is of the Worcester Wall, I think, being constructed back in the early days, right? Isn't that when it was all made of wood before you put all the finishes on it?
Yeah, that's a great shot. Looks like right around dusk, but yes, our wall is in right field, not left field.
Right.
The Green Monster is 37 feet high. Ours is right around 22 feet high, so it's not quite as tall as the Green Monster. But the Red Sox have actually told us that they like their outfielders getting comfortable on playing in all sorts of different outfields with different dimensions and whatnot. And so we didn't really go into the process saying we've got to build a mini Fenway Park, and the Red Sox were actually very supportive and said, we like our outfielders getting comfortable playing.
It's a fun experience walking around. Even if you're not seated up there, you can walk up behind the concourse there. There's a couple of beer stands.
You can, yeah. We got
and it's just a fun thing. And this is the whole. This must be the wall with a flag on it, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's our welcome to Worcester flag drop there. We drop banners. We've dropped flags on that wall before. So some of the similar things that you've seen at Fenway, we've been able to do at Worcester, which has been great.
Big U.S. flags, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. So, do you have has the park been upgraded this year at all from last year when we might have been there? Or,
yes.
Or you got some new plans still, or?
Yeah, we do. One thing that Charles Steinberg and Larry Lucchino always like to say is that there's always something cool and new at Polar Park, and they're right. One of my favorite additions that we've brought to life this year is the Shearwood Diner out in right field. We've got a really cool diner out there that our foundation has refurbished. It was called the Shearwood Diner, and it hasn't been in operation since the 1960s. And
that is so clever.
The diner was sitting on an empty lot in Providence, and we restored it and we put it in right field of our ballpark. And everybody knows that Worcester's a big diner town, and so it's been a place where we put our special guests and former players. When we've got Bob Stanley coming to the park tomorrow night, the Steamer. So he's going to be signing autographs out there in right field in the diner, and it's going to be a hot one. The diner's air conditioned, and we partnered with a local cafe who's serving iced coffees and teas and refreshments out there. And so it's been a popular place to be for fans during games because they get to meet guys like Bob Stanley. It's a nice place to cool down. And just also in that right center field area, another one of my favorite upgrades is we have what we call a Taste of Worcester. So when we built Polar Park, we had so many restaurants reach out to us and say, hey, how do I be a part of Polar Park? How do I serve my pizza or serve my barbecue food in Polar Park? So when you come to Polar Park, you see BT's Smokehouse, you see Wonder Bar Pizza, you see some Worcester institutions that have a presence in the park, but we wanted to create what we call a Taste of Worcester, that we are able to work with restaurants on a bit of a rotational basis. So the restaurants that we weren't able to provide a physical space with in Polar Park, we've created what we call a Taste of Worcester stand, where they come in on a homestand by homestand basis and rotate in.
And your homestands are long; they're like 6 games
a
each.
week. So
that's great. I mean, you guys are going to be teaching the Red Sox stuff, I can tell. I mean, Charles Steinberg is a very creative guy. I knew him in the past when he was in Fenway, and
he sure is.
He doesn't end. He doesn't end with creative ideas.
He sure is. So that's been my new favorite part of the park this year, is that right field Summit Street area.
Well, obviously the team is playing baseball, so let's talk a little bit about some of the baseball players. I guess you could almost call it a Worcester Express this year. I mean, it seems like almost half the Red Sox team at one time or other this year has either played at Worcester or vice versa. Half the Worcester team has played at Fenway. So how's the team doing? You're kind of in contention for the playoffs at this point?
Yeah, we're in contention. You know, we entered the game today 5 games back out of first place.
Well, we're taping this in early August. So
yeah. So we still have a shot to make the playoffs, which we're looking forward to.
I've got a picture of your manager here, Tracy, who you mentioned before. Where was he before Worcester?
He was in the Angels system. He was in the Anaheim Angels system. His father, Jim Tracy, was a manager for the Dodgers in the early 2000s. Yeah. Okay. And so he comes from a baseball family, and he's just been great to work with. He's done brunches with our season ticket holders, and we've really been able to introduce him to some of our fans. And I know everybody at the Boston Red Sox has just loved him.
And a good relation with the players is the most important.
Great relationship with the players. Our local media loves him too, and our front office is really.
It used to be that old managers never die; they just end up with another team. But nowadays, I think you can almost say their children end up as managers. So
that's right.
I think there's a couple other ones too. But you've had an interesting bunch of players here. Let's go through a few of them. You've had a number of them that were former major leaguers. Ref Snyder being the one who came up to the Red Sox and has done really well. And ex-Yankee, and we seem to have taken a lot of ex-Yankees in recent years.
Yeah,
Whitlock and Ref Snyder.
I know he sure has. And I actually remember Ref Snyder coming through McCoy Stadium when he was a member of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, the Yankees AAA team, and here he is with us, and he's definitely a guy that's shown a lot of improvement and has taken advantage of the opportunities that he's been given to him, and he was swinging the ball really well with us to begin the year, and he's gone up to Boston and really made some key contributions, while guys like Kike Hernandez have been on the IL, and so he's been great. Absolutely.
And then we had Schreiber. I don't think we have a picture of him right now, but he was a major thing. We've got a little photo here of Sanchez, who's playing second base today for the Red Sox.
Yeah, I can talk about both those guys. I think one of the things that our fans loved about Schreiber was just the energy that he brought on the mound. He pitched with so much excitement. When he would strike guys out, he would get the crowd going and get really excited, and he's brought a lot of that emotion to Fenway Park in a Red Sox uniform. And got to give Paul Abbott, our pitching coach, a lot of credit for his development and the way he's gone up there, and really been one of the key contributors to that Red Sox
and
bullpen.
The fact that Tigers let him go is a sign that he wasn't having a great major league career till he got to Worcester.
Yeah, and so I think it's been such a player development win for the Red Sox, and I think our coaching staff in Worcester certainly deserves a lot of credit, and it's been fun to go see to just be able to see the success that he's been having.
And then you had the rehab guys, the guys that are hurt that all get to come through there, and of course the most notorious one was certainly Chris Sale, who got you guys a new television.
Yeah, he did. I think a lot of people will never forget Chris Sale's first start with us last year. We had the best crowd that we had in Polar Park history. Yeah. And Chris Sale was back with us this year, and he really didn't pitch that bad, Dave.
No.
I think when he came off the mound, he was just a little bit upset with his control and took some of his frustrations out on a TV in the tunnel there. So,
and then you had Evaldi has been there, and
Evaldi came back and he pitched with us the Sunday right after Chris Sale pitched with us. So we had 2 major leaguers with us in a week, and I think that's part of the cool part about the Polar Park experience is that you never know who you're going to see, whether it be out there on the mound that day, whether it be another rehab position player that the Red Sox have sent to us. I think every time you come to the park, our lineup has something fun or exciting or new to offer our fans, which is really important.
Yeah, that is. And then you've had a lot of these young guys who were kind of the Red Sox system guys, or of course the most 2 notorious ones are the 2 minor leaguers that we got for Mookie Betts, that Downs and Wong, who who are just have been at Worcester and have been at Boston this year, and
exactly. You know, two guys. There's a lot of pressure that gets put on you when you get traded for a guy like Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
And Jeter Downs and Connor Wong have handled that pressure with great professionalism, in my opinion. And each of them have gone up this year and made great contributions to the Red Sox club. It was awesome to see Jeter Downs make his major league debut this year. He's been swinging the bat a little bit better this year than he had last year.
And he knocked in the winning run and scored the winning run against the Yankees, which was, of all things, and made Derek Jeter be quiet.
Exactly.
We all love that.
It's got to be strange for Derek Jeter to see a guy on the Red Sox named Jeter.
And then you got the guy who pitched today, Bella. What's his first name? I forget.
Brian Bayo.
Bayo.
Bayo was certainly one of our best pitchers all season long, and he's gone up to the Red Sox. Couple rough starts in his big league debut, but I think that he's still a prospect who has a lot of promise. I mean, any guy who can throw a ball that sinks like this, 97, 98 miles per hour, that's something you don't see every day, and I think
he looks like he's got a lot of promise.
And
then the guy that has done good is the guy that you got from Benintendi, another tradee, Winkowski, who came from the Mets, I guess.
Winkowski,
multiple trade there.
Winkowski and Franchi Cordero are two other guys that have made some great contributions to the Red Sox this year. And I think Rich Gedman is a guy that deserves a lot of credit for Franchi Cordero, the way that he's gone up and made some more contributions this year with the Red Sox. And Winkowski is another guy that's pitched well too. So two guys that our WooSox fans have been able to see in Worcester as well.
And then we got the future Red Sox, I guess we'll call them, the guys that are at Worcester who kind of come up from the minors and they're on their way to Boston, it looks like, the most notable being Mr. Casas.
And you know, Tristan was a 2018 first-round draft pick. He's been injured a little bit this year, but recently rejoined us. And I think he's still somebody who has a lot of promise. I know that Brian Abraham and Ben Crockett and all the Red Sox player development guys who we get to deal with on a regular basis here at Polar Park are still really high on Tristan. And I think his future is certainly bright. He's a big left-handed hitter with a lot of power, and I think now that he's back healthy with us, he's going to start making some great contributions for the WooSox as well.
Right. Yeah. He's pretty young, isn't he?
He is. He's a young guy.
And then of course the other guy that came up there that I was really looking forward to see pitch for the Red Sox. Groom, what was his first name?
Jay Groom.
Groom got traded yesterday, but for a kind of a guy nobody's heard much of, Hosmer. So I guess that's one of the functions of a good minor league system, is to have guys that you can trade for people like Hosmer or somebody else.
It sure is, and I think under Chaim Bloom, he's really done a great job of replenishing our farm system and making our AAA team so exciting to watch, and so I think Chaim deserves a lot of credit. But for Jay, the WooSox are taking batting practice yesterday. He gets a call, and all of a sudden, you can see him on the phone, walking around, and our staff is literally, seeing Jay get the news. And here's a guy who's in Worcester with his wife and his 1-year-old kid, and so when you get news like that, it can be a lot, but Jay is a professional, and I know that all of us are wishing Jay nothing.
He's on his way to San Diego, and in 5 years from now, Hosmer will be long gone, and Groom will be pitching in the World Series probably for the Padres against the Red Sox, we hope. That would be...
We wish Jay all the success in the world.
That's the way it goes. And another young kid who kind of came out of nowhere has been playing pretty well, both in spring training and with the Red Sox, is Fitzgerald.
Ryan Fitzgerald has really been one of our most consistent and best hitters all year. Undrafted guy, really cool story, and he's also been very active in the Worcester community as well. On Saturdays at Polar Park, we have free WooSox youth clinics, and our players go out and put on clinics and interact with the kids, which is great. And Ryan has taken part in all of those. He's gone out in the community this year, and it's just been great because last year with COVID, we weren't allowed to take our players anywhere or do anything with our players. And Ryan right now is the leader in the room for our most valuable community member.
And he's doing fairly well on the field too. He was a big star in spring training.
Yeah.
I follow the Red Sox pretty closely, and I'd never heard of him. I see this guy hits a home run in the first or second game, and I said, well, that's probably because he's pitching a single A pitcher or something, but he kept hitting them. I was surprised the Red Sox haven't called him up.
Yeah. He kept hitting. He's another fun guy to watch too, Dave, because he plays so many different positions. They seem to plug him in anywhere, and he's a big part of what the WooSox have done.
Kind of a Brock Holt type player, maybe
this year. A bit of a Brock Holt
compared to that. Yeah. Well, this has been great wandering, talking through all the players here. We got one more that just came up as a surprise today. One of the guys that the Red Sox got in a trade for Tristan Vasquez was
Emmanuel Valdez.
And in his first game with the WooSox,
can you believe it? He shows up on a plane from Corpus Christi and he lands in Worcester and he hits a home run.
And here he is, rounding second, heading for third, and there he is.
His first game with us. So that was great. And we ended up losing today, but it was a beautiful swing. He hit the ball the opposite way and put it out of the park to left field there. And so I know he's a guy that people are very excited about. And it's tough when you trade a guy like Vasquez away that's been such an important part of the franchise for so many years. But when you get young, exciting prospects like this in return, it can be fun for our fans.
Well, maybe we'll get the best of both worlds, and we'll re-sign Vasquez in the winter and have this kid hitting home runs at Fenway too. So.
You never know what could happen.
And there was another guy that got in that deal too.
He's not with us.
Oh, he's going to a lower team.
Yeah, so we only have Valdez right now.
Okay, well, we've touched on a lot of the players, but half the story of going to a WooSox game, I think, is some of the kind of fun things that you guys do there. And I think most notable in terms of the Framingham TV is you actually had a Framingham Day this year.
That's
and
right.
You had Charlie Sositsky and some other Red Sox, some other local dignitaries there. There's a picture of some of them, head of our school committee.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was great to have Mayor Sositsky out. We did it on Easter Sunday this year, and it was a snowy pregame ceremony. It was a snowy Sunday in April, but the game cleared up. We got the game in. The mayor threw a great strike, as I remember. We honored some Framingham veterans. We brought out some Framingham community groups and some nonprofits and raised some money for them. Recognize some vets, as we mentioned, and I think next year we're going to have to get Lou Merloni to join us when we have a Framingham Day at the park.
We're going to have to get me there, first of all. I was highly disappointed I didn't get invited by Charlie because I was a supporter of him.
Oh, hey.
I'm going to speak to him about that for sure.
It was an Easter Sunday, so it was a tough day for a lot of people.
Anyway.
So
I hope you had a good contingent from Framingham. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks with the EMAS Senior Softball League. We've got 100 of us old geezers who are going to be out there rooting you on. So that's going to be fun. But
that's awesome.
But you had we've had a photo here with a bunch of flags. It was kind of looks like that was what was that a day for? Is that a Dominican flag?
Yeah. So we have one of our cool community initiatives that we've unveiled. Periodically throughout the season, we change our team name to Los Huepas. We become the Worcester Huepas, and Huepa is a Dominican expression for excitement. So when you hit a home run out of Polar Park, you flip your bat and you say Huepa. And so on 8 games, we become Los Huepas, and we celebrate different countries.
That'll be a better name than the WooSox.
And
where that came from.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We like the WooSox.
I'm just pulling your chain.
And I mean, of course, we always have a lot of Dominican players on our roster, so it's cool when you can celebrate countries and get our players excited. We had a night for Venezuela earlier this season, and guys like Yolmer Sanchez, who's now up in Boston, was really excited that we're celebrating Venezuela. And so it's cool when you can celebrate countries that also intersect with some of the players
the
in our
population
roster.
of Worcester. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So and then you had, of course, you mentioned Bob Stanley coming out this weekend. You had Bronson Arroyo, I believe, earlier in the year, and
Yep.
he still has that great hair, which I'm highly envious of.
Yeah, we've had a few members of that 04 team come out. We've had Bronson, we've had Keith Folk, we had Lenny DiNardo, who was another reliever on that team, and we hope to get more members of the 04 team out this year as well. On August 16th, we're going to have John Valentin, who was growing up in the 90s. I had a lot of fun watching John Valentin
Number 13.
and Mo Vaughn and Nomar, and I was a big 90s Red Sox fan, and so it'll be great to get Johnny Valentin.
Well, you touched about kids, and I think one of the things that you guys have done best this year is getting kids. I've got a cute picture here of a little girl with some cotton candy, and I think that kind of symbolizes some of the crowd that you probably work to get.
That's what it's all about, Dave. We want to make Polar Park a place that's accommodating and accessible for families, particularly young kids, and the camp days that we do in the summertime too. We have a lot of those weekday day games in the summertime, and those are geared towards kids who are at summer camps. We also get a lot of senior centers that come out on those days, Dave. So if you want to bring your senior softball team,
well, we're coming out a night game.
I know you're coming out exactly, but we know the
staying
seniors,
up late.
We know the seniors like the day games.
Oh,
as well,
come on, Joe.
But they're always a nice
okay,
time,
so are we going to get a senior to throw out the first pitch? That looks like the mascot there too, Smiley, right?
Careful what you wish for, Dave.
Yeah.
We may have to have you come out there. Yeah. So we always make Polar Park accessible and friendly for kids. You see it in a lot of the in-between promotions that we do, and all of that is geared towards making sure kids have a great time at Polar Park.
And then, of course, the ending thing, the fireworks displays, is that a regular thing?
We do fireworks every Friday night. Every Friday night we do fireworks, and we've always got great crowds for those, and we always pack the place, fans who want to come in and see those fireworks and enjoy a nice night out. And we did them on July 4th this year too. July 4th was one of the best crowds that we had this year at the ballpark.
So have you had a lot of sellouts?
And we sure have, and attendance-wise.
So if I want to get tickets, what do I do? WooSox, the website is
WooSox.com.
WooSox.com,
and you can buy your single game tickets on WooSox.com. There's still plenty left. We hope to see you at Polar Park, and they're very affordable, and we make it.
Well, I said at the beginning this was going to run fast, and unfortunately it has. We've run down to the witching hour here, and Joe, it's been great to have you back again. You're always a great guest, and it's fun to kind of see the continued excitement and progress at Worcester Park. Management does make the difference in this business, and you guys are doing it right there. So congratulations, and thanks for coming by. And all you fans out there in TV land, get out and see a game at Worcester Park. It really is fun, and you'll be seeing future Red Sox, current Red Sox, past Red Sox. Who knows what you might see. And come back and watch Fan to Fan on Access Framingham TV. We're on 4 nights a week, Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday mornings if you're up early. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you again. Good night.